Hello, how you doing? My name is Alan Rucker. I'm a nurse and paramedic with 20 years experience in the medical field. Today we're going to do a brief tutorial on the relative and absolute refractory periods. All right, to give you just a brief understanding or use the KISS, principle, keep it simple, stupid. All right. Now, basically we have the P wave, QRS complex, right? T wave. Now the absolute refractory can extend from the Q wave, depending on what book you read, the Q wave to the midway point of the T wave. Right? But what this tells you is that an action potential has to be very extremely strong enough to interfere, right, with this cardiac cycle to cause some type of ectopy, some type of abnormal, right, transmission or normal conduction. All right? The relative refractory out of the two, this is the more easier, all right, to disrupt. Most premature contractions actually occur during the relative refractory period because the stimulus doesn't have to be that strong, but it just has to be strong enough to cause an action potential during this basic resting phase, right, or recovery phase of the heart. So if it's strong enough, sometimes here you can have PACs, PJCs, PVCs, and this is where it normally is going to happen in the relative refractory. The absolute refractory, right, the action potential has to be very strong. Now, one thing we all know is we always hear something called, so you gotta be looking around for my marker. We notice what's known as the R on T, right? Phenomenon, right? The R on T phenomenon, that actually occurs in the absolute refractory period. Because what will happen is that the heart will relax and contract at the same time. And that will throw a patient into VTAC, right? Ventricular tachycardia. So that's why patients are in SVT. That's why we want to use medications, adenosine, amiodarone, procainamide to slow the rate down. Because this is like a runaway train. If one train leaves going 50 miles an hour, when the second train is coming behind it at 100 miles an hour, they're going to meet, and that second train is going to catch up with the first train and to start to go through the train. All right? So it's like an inelastic collision, right, in physics. But this is what's going to happen. So the heart rate, these will start moving together. And since that rate is going fast, you might have the P wave here, QRS complex, coming here. They're going to start meeting. So normally what's going to happen if it keep going faster and faster, this R wave, right, is going to meet this T. So then a P wave might come here and bam, R on T. Phenomenal, right? Which will lead you, like I said, to VTAC. So that's why in tachyarrhythmias, like supraventricular tachycardia, and now what's called re-entry supraventricular tachycardia, we want to slow the rate because if we don't, we keep allowing this to continue. The heart will not fill with enough blood to be able to circulate to the body, right? Patient's mental status will start to decrease. But these cardiac cycles are going to start to meet, and eventually you're going to get an R wave, a ventricular contraction, where the heart is supposed to be relaxing and recovering. And if the heart relaxes, relax and contracts at the same time, we will have an R on T, which will cause VTAC, and the patient will go in cardiac arrest. All right? So I hope I made that simple for you. So like I said, the analogy, example I use is with the two trains, right? One train leaves out 50 miles an hour, the second one's coming behind at twice the speed. They're going to meet. And if they hit, that second train is going faster, but it's going to start going through the second train, and that's what's actually happening here, right? These ECG waveforms are going to start meeting. These cardiac cycles are going to start meeting, and one is going to start overtaking the slower one, and that's where you're going to have a R wave on a T wave. Okay. Thank you for watching. Check the description box, and that will help you get the contact information.